I'm sitting in the audience. I'm the next speaker. The stage is enormous, screens at the back. And I am thinking, absolutely not. I'm Kate Wolf, and this is Electric Voices. The first time I put a video out, it was 2015, and I put this video out on Facebook, and a total stranger took it upon herself to tell me that she was sure I was full of good intentions, but that I came across as a bit weird. So I had a little look at her profile, and her first profile photo was her pouting. Second profile photo, her pouting. Third photo, her pouting. And I thought, of course you think I'm weird. I move my face. The thing about humans is we love to judge, but we hate to be judged. And we know, don't we, that as soon as we put ourselves out there, put out a video on social media, step onto a stage, launch a podcast, that we are opening ourselves up to judgment. And we are. It is inevitable. But we are also opening us up to being seen and heard by the right people, our just right clients, the ones who need and want what we have to offer. And more than that, opportunities, doors opening. Opportunities always come through other people. And other people can't know about you if you're not putting yourself out there. I met my fiance because I was showing up and sharing my voice, which means my 19-month-old daughter exists because I was showing up and sharing my voice. Showing up doesn't just change your business. If you let it, it changes your whole life. I've been working with entrepreneurs, healers, therapists, creative thinkers for 12 years now. And I have seen again and again that every time we want to rise up, the fears rise up too. I remember a couple of years ago, I was about to speak on the biggest stage I'd ever spoken on, to the point where we needed screens for the people at the back. And I was sitting in the audience and I was thinking, no, I think I forgot my whole entire speech. What was I thinking? Too big, too scary. No. So I'm sitting there having this conversation with myself and had to coach myself through it. So we followed through, right? Okay, Kate, well, what will you do if you don't get up on that stage? Well, I'll be really embarrassed and I'll have a lot of apologies to make. And then the dream will probably come back because it always does. A client just last week said to me, there are parts of building a business that I do not want to do, but sharing my voice, showing up, expressing myself, I can't not do that. It's a soul contract. And that's how I feel. So I knew it would come back. I knew the dream would come back. I'd have to go again and it would be harder because I would have all the shame to deal with and the fear would be bigger. So I might as well just get up on that stage and go. And I did. And I opened with what I call my lightning bolt opener. And the audience erupted with laughter. And the rush of that moment was like nothing else. Like, I get why comedians do it. It is a rush. And I actually talk about the stand-up as a speaker archetype that we want to use, we want to bring to the stage in a future episode. So make sure you listen up for that. So I got up. I did it despite the fear. And when I came off that stage, I was literally mobbed. People wanted selfies. I felt a little bit famous. And then someone handed me a slip of paper that said, your calendar is broken. It wasn't broken, it was full. I had even been sitting there messaging my VA saying, open the calendar, open more spots. She had, and it had filled up again. And so someone thought that my calendar was broken and they cared so much that they wrote it on a slip of paper and crept through the auditorium to hand it to me. And as a direct result of speaking on that stage, I had someone book in for a VIP day. I had a client sign up to work with me for an entire year. Her business was already successful, but oh my goodness, she was working hard. And now she is holding it all so much more lightly. She's having so much more fun. She feels so much more confident. She's showing up easily. She is taking people on retreats in France, Tuscany, Scotland. And she chose to work with me because of how I showed up on stage. And now she gets to shine on her own stages. That is the power getting on the right stage can have for you. And it really showed me what one well-crafted talk delivered to the right people can do for your business. You absolutely can have the success that you dream of without having to pretend that you're anything that you're not. Your voice is the key. I shared about that fear and how I talked to myself through it on social media. It got hundreds of likes and loves and engagement. People love hearing the journey. They don't want to hear from the mountaintop that I've got it all sorted, the perfection. They want to hear the fear, the setbacks, the falls as you're going along. So take your audience on the journey with you. Sharing your stories is the key. Your voice is the key to having the business that is truly fulfilling for you. This is what being real on stage unlocks, and that is why we're here. In the coming episodes, we are going to get into all of it. How to find what I call your speaker magic, the thing that makes you fascinating to exactly the right people. How to structure a talk that actually moves people. How to love up on your fear instead of fighting it. And how to walk into a room full of strangers and have them recognize you as the one to work with. As we round out on this first episode, here's what I want you to know. Just because you have doubts doesn't mean you can't find your center. Just because you stumble doesn't mean you can't be powerful. And just because you aren't the loudest voice in the room does not mean you are not the most interesting. I'm on a mission to make sure everyone who has something important to say knows that they have the power to share it. If you're someone who has deep thoughts, unique perspectives from a life well lived, and a heart that is calling for you to share them out in the world where they can do most good, plus have some fun and make some really good money along the way, then this is the show for you. I'm so glad you found your way here. If this has landed for you, please help more people find this podcast by following, subscribing, commenting, or sharing with a friend. And I'll see you in the next episode.